official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team.
Obviously, Ashley got the top half of the hurdle and Joe got the bottom half. So, Thursday night, I'm struggling to remember Kendall Cage missing a shot. She was hitting from absolutely everywhere. At one point, Tierra Hodges shouted across, Ken, you can't pass, you know. And Lauren Sackley went, what for? She's not missing. And he had this shooting game. They did it in pairs. And Ken was with Lauren Sackley. And Luke Owen must have picked up on what happened. So he went round each pair and asked what the scores were. I think Abby Lowe and her partner had 21 or something like that. And he left Kendall and Lauren the last round. So 21 to beat Lauren, how many did you score? You don't need. And he scored 32 in the second round. He was just hitting everything. She played with so much confidence. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Virtue Motors Arena. It's playoff basketball, quarter-final stages of the Super League Women's Championship, and it's the hometown Newcastle Eagles who are hosting the visitors, the Essex Rebels. And I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil Dave's opening. And on my right, as I say, there is Dave Elderkin. Dave, your first thoughts, please.
Well, obviously the teams have met twice before this season. A comfortable win for the Eagles on their home court, 83-71 before Christmas. Not such an easy game down at Essex when the Eagles came away with a 5-point win. And quite recently, obviously, Eagles played Manchester. We're a little bit concerned about that because that's when we learned that Thierry Hodges, who's the second top scorer for the Eagles, and along with Jada Gwynn, has been piling a lot of points in. But we needn't to worry about that because two other Eagles had outstanding games apart from Jada, and that was Kendall Currans, who was red hot at the start of the game, but the person who delighted me the most was Shannon. Absolutely brilliant game for her. And obviously those two, Shannon Hatch, Kendall, will be important tonight, but also you got to need support from elsewhere because this Essex team are the deep, and I look at them as the nearly team. They nearly beat the Eagles. They nearly beat Sheffield in a midweek game less than a couple of weeks ago, and for 35 minutes of that game they were pretty awesome, and they've got their own big scorers as well, so it's a lot to look forward to in this game, and both teams realise, Jeff, it's a knockout.
Absolutely, it's Coach Fabulous Fanoy used to say every time we came down to playoffs, he says, look guys, it's win or go home. There's nothing else there. And you mentioned those two games, David, and I think one person who Essex are going to be massively guarded against, but then everybody in the league is now, is Jada Gwynn. I look at her numbers in those two games. In the first game at home, she had 31 points. And in the second game, when Eagles scored 72, she had 25 of those, and she also had 15 rebounds, 6 assists and 5 steals. It's a quite remarkable game there. But you mentioned Tierra Hodges. Tierra Hodges is in civvies on the bench tonight. We do not know whether if the Eagles got through, she would be fit for next week either. But she's also had 2 big games, 2 doubles in fact, 23 and 10. With 5 assists in the first games and 11 and 11 in the second game. Massive part of the Eagles rebounding. But you look across, and probably the outstanding player for the Rebels this season has been Taylor O'Brien. That's not to diss the other ones, but Taylor O'Brien, 14 points in both games, and in the first game also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists and 4 steals. And Maria Bolazowski, who she's averaging 17.6 points a game and 6.7 rebounds. Interesting player as well. The centre, Brooke Flowers, doesn't score loads of points, but she's actually averaging more rebounds than she's got points. She's almost averaging 8 points a game, but she's also almost averaging 10 rebounds a game. Somebody that won't have the pressure of Hodges as well to guard at when they go 4 up for rebounds. So it is going to be interesting, but Chloe Gaynor has been able to prepare all week, knowing she was going to be without Hodges today, and knowing that she's played this Rebel side twice. So I guess she'll have her plans.
But I think there's another interesting aspect to this game as well. You've got two point guards who absolutely love dishing the ball around and feeding the team and making them play. Obviously you've got our own Lauren Saki, but also you've got this wonderfully named, now where is it? I have to even look at it to see what it is. But
Lauren Park Lane.
Yeah, Lauren Park Lane. I mean, you can't forget the Park Lane bit, can you? But she's a good player. I really, really enjoy watching her play. I thought she had a terrific game against Sheffield, and I think the person who benefited most from that, her performance against Sheffield, was O'Brien.
Yeah. The thing is as well, you look at you just mentioned it there as well. Lauren Saki is leading the league with 7.5 assists a game, but right on her heels is Lauren Portlane, who is averaging 6.9 assists. So obviously past first point guards, and similar in size, and there's not many people you can say that about Lauren Saki. Usually you find she matches up. And that's going to be a really big matchup. So we've got the starters for the Rebels. It will be number 1, Taylor O'Brien, number 2, Lauren Park Lane, number 3, Daniela Turner, number 10, Maria Bazowski, number 11, Brooke Flowers, and for the Eagles it's number 1, Kendall Currans, number 9, Abby Lowe, number 10, Lauren Saki, number 24, Jada Gwynn, and number 33, Shannon Hatch. The ball is up, Flowers tips it to Turner, and she gives it to Park Lane straight away.
Well, what that highlighted more than anything else is the height advantage that Flowers has got for this game, but somebody from the Eagles going to have to put pressure on her. As you say, she's not a great point scorer, which is really thankful probably from the Eagles' point of view, but she does command a lot of rebounds.
Park Lane with the first shot of the game, a 3-point effort, which hit the front of the rim, and Eagles were able to pick the loose ball rebound up. Shannon Hatch for 3 is also short. Rebound picked up by O'Brien. Of course, she played for, I think it was Leicester she played for last year. She's drove all the way to the basket there, but our left-handed layup is no good. Saki picks up the rebound, and Eagles are off and running again. Kendall Currants and Lauren Saki exchanging passes just about. Saki's going to have to go to the basket herself. Scoops it up and in, and that's the first point of the game.
Both these point guards are going to go after each other, but they're both very, very capable ball handlers.
Nice pass by Park Lane. O'Brien, it just misses. Turner timed a jump for the rebound superbly, took the offensive board. Back out to Park Lane, turns the corner into Turner. She finds nice ball movement. And it's number 3, Daniela Turner, who knocks down the 3.
Well, I think both teams, you know, Daniela Turner and obviously on the bench Claire Paxton, they've got plenty of players who can be a threat from the three-point line. Absolutely, O'Brien's a threat from the three-point line.
Well, they've got a lot of players. If you look at the statistics and percentages, they've got a lot of players in the reasonably high 30s for three-point range as well. Got about 5 or 6. So you obviously like to shoot the 3. By the way, Lauren Saki's off to a nice start. She would another lovely drive, and there's a great drive for Kendall Currans, but she's missed the layup after getting wide open. O'Brien comes back into Flowers. Flowers using the height advantage.
She's not going to miss from that range, is she? No, inch perfect pass. I mean, I thought Kendall Currans' approach to the basket, the way she beat her on the crossover dribble was exceptional.
The finish just wasn't quite there. Ashley Cookson is almost in the Eagles' half. He's so animated. Jada Gwynn cuts to the basket and puts 2 points in. As I say, 66 points she scored against these.
Yeah, and she has so many ways of finishing off when she drives to the basket. Footwork's exceptional.
Oh, that's a nice drive by O'Brien. Gets past Abby Lowe on the baseline.
I thought O'Brien had a huge game against Sheffield midweek, a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely huge.
Very good player. A little bit of a surprise when she left Leicester. Currans' 3-point shot is off. Turner takes the rebound, drives hard. All the way to the baseline, and then decides to come inside. Turns, flicks it up left-handed. Nice finish. Nice bit of play. It's individual play, but it was nice play altogether. But the Eagles know they're in a scrap already. 9-6 down.
Coach going to the bench early, and obviously there's another 3-point threat coming off the bench.
Claire Paxton. Saki's layup is off. O'Brien takes the rebound. Out to Park Lane. She goes against Saki. A scoop is no good. Saki will find Currans. Oh, wow, what a time. What a block by Taylor O'Brien. Timed that to absolute perfection.
There's always the danger when you come from behind like that you're going to clatter the player and get the foul, but that was absolutely Bill Russell to the tee. I know I tell this story every time I get a chance. He always used to tap the block shots, never swipe at them.
Just tap them. So Paxton and McDermott, Claire Paxton and McDermott on for Flower, and
Well, I don't know, but while you're thinking that was sloppy defence from Essex.
Yeah, allowed Jada Gwynn an easy get to the basket, and of course she was fouled as well. The basket did drop, so it'll be a chance for an on one and a chance to level the game at 9 points all. Gwynn is good with the free throw. 9 points all, 6:10 left in the first quarter. McDermott brings the ball over halfway. Interesting. Brzezowski back to pass in Park Lane for three. Is good.
I've just noticed the obvious they overlooked. Both point guards have got the same Christian name.
Yep.
Now that is the hatch that was missing earlier in the season.
Yeah, the mid-range game.
Yeah, and not only that, but her catch and shoot. She gets straight into it every time she gets the ball now, and she feels she's open. Great shooters got to know they've got the green light.
Yeah, something that I'm fortunate enough to be in and around the Eagles camp, and it's something that I've spoken to Shannon at length about, and she has struggled. She admits she's struggled all season with that mid-range game. Still averaging 11 points a game though. Very much. Last weekend was a big game for her. Jada Gwynn, lovely bit of footwork, but can't make the shot. O'Brien takes it. Guarded by Abby Lowe. Lovely screen by Claire Paxton. Allows the ball to come out, and Brzezowski knocks down the three. And Chloe Ginn has seen enough.
Well, what she saw there was an outstanding example of team basketball.
We'll go to an advert and talk about that when we come back.
From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team.
Okay, so we're back. We were just saying Chloe gave a call at timeout. You were saying about outstanding team basketball from Essex.
Yeah, the edge at the moment with the Rebels by 4 points, and you've got Park Lane, you've got O'Brien, and you've got Danielle, all wanting to push the ball out quickly at the Eagles defence before it's getting a chance to get set, and then the quick ball movement is not allowing the Eagles to get into any passing lane and lock on and close down easy shots. And that's just that little edge they've got at the moment, and it's paying off for them big time.
Yeah, Brzezowski 5 points, leads all game scorers along with Jada Gwynn. 4:56 to go. Lauren Saki brings it forward. Nice passing by Abby Lowe. Oh, Jada Gwynn, well, yeah, it's going to be a foul. She turned, and I'm going to say that Leah McDermott lost her foot, and then I just obviously fell into her. Of course, this is the second playoff game here in 2 days. The men played last night, won by 7 against Manchester, so a 7-point lead to defend on Monday. But there's no 2 legs in this, of course, Dave, is it? It's just a straight one game.
Straight knockouts.
And we've already had one result today. Auckland Wolves beating Leicester Riders 74-62. The Riders gave it a good shot, but in the end, the Wolves got through. And as we're playing this game, Sheffield are taking on Durham in Sheffield. We'll keep you up to date with that one as well. But back to this one. Jada Gwynn goes 1 from 2 from the line. Cuts the gap to 3. Park Lane Taylor Willis coming on from nowhere and knocking down a 3. That's got to be a great sign for coach Ashley Cookson. Somebody who's not a regular scorer, just walking on the court and knocking down a 3. And speaking of knocking down a 3, Shannon Hatch.
Soon be raining threes the way we're going here.
It's important for that one because it was suddenly a 6-point gap. The Eagles are going to have to work out how to combat that one. McDermott's pass into Flower.
She's not an easy target, Flowers, is she? Because she's very mobile. She's not going down there and posting anybody up.
Kendall Curran steps out of bounds at the end line. At this moment in time, it's the Rebels who are certainly looking the more impressive of two sides. It's part lane faced by Saki. Gives it to McDermott, back to Part Lane, into Flowers again, but a good deflection by Jada Gwynn. But, well, a good deflection by Jada Gwynn. Abby Lowe picked it up, but then a pass back to Gwynn wasn't a great one. The Eagles lost the ball out of bounds.
I think you're going to see a little bit of an exchange here, possibly between... I was just going to say, well, we won't say that now. I think Flowers was setting up a screen away from the ball, and then she rolls to the basket after she set that screen. And that's how twice she's got open for those easy layup buckets.
Portland thought she was fouled there by Lauren Saki, but I almost look as if John Paul Heron almost agreed with her, but said it wasn't his call, so I don't know. But anyway, Portland has gone off and Taylor O'Brien's come on, so it probably will take over the point. Abby Lowe out to Saki. He has Gwynn. He's going to attack. He's back out to Shannon Hatch. Hatch for 2 is long. Taylor Willis takes the rebound. Here's McDermott coming away. Confident ball handler, Leo McDermott. Claire Paxton. No, and Abby Lowe, Claire Paxton turned to look for a player, and Abby Lowe just took the ball off her. Incredible steal, really. Kendall Currens from Jada Gwynn makes the basket, and Ashley Cookson decides he'll have a timeout, and we'll have another advert. Okay, so we're back, 2:36 to go, and this time it's actually Cookson who's taking a timeout with a 3-point lead.
Well, he reacted very quickly, didn't he, to that? I think one thing he'll be concerned about, I think he'll be really pleased with the way they're picking the shots, the way they're pushing the ball up the floor quickly, and also they're working really hard without the ball. They've been caught out 2 or 3 times now because they're just simply not communicating to each other. Claire Paxton caught the ball there. Nobody told her she had 2 men coming on her, and it was an easy steal there for Abby Lowe to take the ball off her and get the Eagles into transition quickly.
Abby Lowe, who had an incredible game, well, I'm saying incredible game in one respect, down in Essex, in that 5-point win by the Eagles. She had 9 steals in that game.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's the yeah.
It's incredible, isn't it? 9 steals.
Yeah, well, she's pretty good, pretty smart the way she takes position off the ball on defense. She's always trying to get in there and reach. That's why she gets so many fouls. She overreaches at times.
Essex a little bit lucky there. McDermott did well to control that. And he's now into Flower. Oh, well. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure that Porzingis would have caught that one.
No, I think Flowers thinks everybody's as tall as she is.
Throws the ball away, turnover, Eagles back on offense, 2:20 to go.
Well, I think the Eagles have slowed down the Essex offence at one end. They need to just spark up their own a little bit.
Well, Saki could almost run through Brooke Flowers' legs. Oh, lovely play by Saki. That's how to reward your point guard as well, isn't it? Lovely play.
You've got the stats in. Is that a third foot three?
Yep. Well, no, sorry, third. It's a third bucket, 2 threes, and I think she's had a 2.
Long 2, right.
Yeah. Zoe Willis is on. She's took a good rebound there. Gwynn pushes it to Saki.
Oh, what
Saki
great
to Hatch.
passing.
Hatch off, oh, doesn't make it, but Jada Gwynn comes back and she'll be fouled. Eagles haven't got any fouls in this first quarter. Essex only 3. Park Lane and Blazowski come back. Taylor Willis and McDermott come out.
Keeps freshening things up, doesn't he, Coach Ash?
Yeah. It's Shannon Hatch up to 8 points personal. Probably should have had 10 there. Missed the layup, but Jada Gwynn took a great offensive rebound. She's missed the free throw though. Pretty upset with herself.
Well, she's a high percentage free throw shooter, isn't she?
Normally, yeah. Knocks the second one down, puts the Eagles back in front, 21-20. Till O'Brien's really quick around the court, isn't he? Very athletic. Misses that shot though, and Lauren Saki. And Lauren Saki gets a lot of rebounds for her height, but that's because her positioning is so good. Lays it off to Gwynn. Gwynn goes in. Shot's no good. Flower takes another rebound. Park Lane off and running. Oh, that's a great drive by
Well, it's a
Turner.
great drive if you're an Essex Rebel fan. It's not if you're Newcastle Eagles, because nobody should be getting it free straight line drives like that.
Well, there's another straight line drive.
Yeah, and nobody should be getting easy buckets like that.
Hatch to Willis. Willis for 2. 23-22 Eagles. Well, in the moment, the middle is almost, well, Zoe Willis stood well there for Flower. Jada Gwynn will go hard. It's not going to go in though. Maybe one of those ones that it's very fast, very open at the moment. Not a lot of defense, particularly in the middle. Wrap around pass by Blazowski to Flower, and Flower's up to 6 points personal already. Eagles holding for the last shot of the quarter. She's calling Shannon, Lauren Saki calls Shannon Hatch up, tacks the basket herself, and then tries to feed Hatch. Doesn't find that. That must be the 3rd or 4th time that Coach Cookson's been warned about being outside his area.
Well, he's been outside of his area more than he's been in it.
O'Brien goes from halfway and it hits the rim, but that's all she wrote, and the Rebels have a 1-point lead, 23-24.
Highly entertaining game, great tempo. Both teams really pushing their offensive output quite hard. Both teams need to a little bit more care about defense. Eagles have got to protect the rim a little bit better, and Essex need to get with some of these drives that's coming in from Jada Gwynn. But really entertaining first quarter, and Essex probably just shared it. I thought they were going to run away with it, but the Eagles had a really good spell over the last couple of minutes.
23-24 here, down in Sheffield. The Hatters had a massive second quarter. It was only 14-13 after the first quarter. The second quarter went 29-10 to the Hatters, who now lead at half-time by 43 points to 23.
So I guess the significance is whoever wins this game plays the winner of that game.
That's right now. I believe it's next Friday night.
Definitely at the business end of the season, aren't we? And we're seeing a really good performance here from two very good teams. Essex finished 6th, but they're not playing like a team that finished 6th. They're playing like a top half of the table. And obviously the Eagles have been great under coach Chloe Gaynor. And it's such a shame for them that they've had to go in at this stage of the season without Thierry Hodges.
I think I like the point you made before, Dave, as well, about Essex being an early team. I think we saw them here early in the season, and although the Eagles won by 12 points, they did put up 71 points and did play very well. And there has been, you know, a little bit of money put into the Essex Rebels, I know, this season, but so perhaps they'll be a bit disappointed to finish sixth. But you can see the talent there, particularly with this five that's on the court at the moment. This is like that strong five: Flower, Park Lane, O'Brien, Brzezowski, and Turner. This is the five that will play most of the game, and it's a very impressive five indeed.
Yeah, but it's also, I think there's been an impressive contribution from the bench, and I think coach has shown right from the start that he's going to be using that bench tonight.
Of course, Chloe Jane are known very much for using the bench.
But I love this battle between these 2 point guards.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Lauren Saki wins that one, all the way to the basket and knocks the 2 point in, then goes for the steal.
So you've got Saki on the drive, executes a perfect fadeaway jumper to finish it off. What good skill.
Coach Cookson is very, very animated on the sideline.
Maybe somebody should remind him it was a point up a minute ago.
O'Brien out the Park Lane, guarded by Gwynn. No, that was Kendall Curran saw that. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul as well. I think that's probably a fair call, because I don't think it was malicious, but she didn't get anywhere near the ball. It was just cutting across. And if she hadn't, Kendall Curran's had a clear run to the basket. Interestingly enough, I'm looking at Brooke Flower, and Brooke Flower's asking everybody why she's shooting. Well, because it was an unsportsmanlike foul, Brooke. That's why she's shooting. She knocks them both down.
And of course, the advantage to the Eagles is, after an unsportsmanlike, you get the ball back.
Yeah, so 2 points good from Kendall Currans. Up to 4 points personal. She's already got 4 assists as well. Eagles now 27-24. Zoe Willis going in on Flower. Nice. Oh, I thought it goes in, nice pass, but it just came off an Essex player. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Second or third time the Eagles tried to thread the ball through a very, very narrow space where they've got shooters wide open on the perimeter as a result of that cut.
Lauren Saki for 3 is no good. Shannon Hatch gets a hand on it, and that deflected the ball into the path of Gwynn, who gets to the basket and as usual gets smashed. Is on the ground. Oh, good off it. Transition.
Well, Quinn seems no worse for the wear. She's up, not hobbling or anything, although she's holding her left thigh, which I think she hurt against the Durham team.
Yeah. But she goes straight back with 2 more points.
You know, she is, along with Micah Cora, one of the best finishers in British basketball this year.
She's been phenomenal, she really has. I mean, Eagles, when they signed her, were expecting big things from her, and took her a little while to get going, but since she's got going, she's done really well. Oh, and that's another nice drive by O'Brien. And of course, she's the player of the month for April as well,
yeah,
Gwynn.
Yeah, I don't think too many people who really know the game had any doubt that there's a real quality player entered the league here.
Oh, nice pass. Showing the other side of our game there as well, and Shannon Hatch finish it. Yeah. Shannon Hatch off to a hot start as well. Eagles up by 5, 33-28. Park Lane goes all the way to the basket. Zoe Willis did a good job, but just at the end, just bumped her as she went up. Paxton in for Flower.
Well, this is Claire's second spell. I don't think she really got into the game at all in that first few minutes she had. And the one thing you got to be careful though is that you can't leave her wide open beyond the arc.
Park Lane makes them both, cuts the gap to just 3 points. And we're feeling this one's going to go a long way, down to the wire, possibly even.
Well, any sign of a break and the other team digs deep, doesn't it, and fights their way back.
Good shot from Lauren Saki. It didn't go in,
Yeah,
but it was well
absolutely wide
taken.
open.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you.
And then O'Brien throws the ball into Blazowski, but too hard.
That's the coach's last warning. John Paul Heron telling all the officials, leaves his box again, he'll get a tee.
And Ashley Cookson's complaining about it. I really don't know what he's complaining about. He's miles outside of his technical
Yeah,
area.
no, I mean the box is clearly marked.
Yeah, absolutely. At one point he was almost in the Eagles half. Jada Gwynn, nice knockout to Saki. Saki comes back, makes the two. Lauren Saki in scoring mode today.
It's a good finisher, isn't she, off that
Little-
I don't know whether it's a float or a run or what to call it, but it's effective, whatever it is.
And there's Claire Paxton left open. Well, not quite left open, but
No.
not guarded closely enough.
The defense there couldn't have done any better. That was just better offense. It was a tough shot to take. She made it. She was totally focused on where the rim was. You can't ask any more from the defensive player.
Yeah, it was a super shot. Zoe Willis a little bit unlucky, but O'Brien pulls the rebound. And it's very quick, this game. That's the second foul on Zoe Willis. Eagles only have 2 fouls, are both on Zoe Willis. I think she was coming out anyway.
Well, certainly O'Brien's impressed the season for points. She's picking up rebounds as well.
Yeah. She picks up about 5 rebounds
She
a
does.
game.
She really does hunt after the rebound.
Yeah, she's averaging 5.3 rebounds a game as well. Back to Brzezowski. Brzezowski being very... O'Brien turns in and knocks down the 2.
She's one of the best left hands in women's basketball I've seen for a long time.
Levels the game up at 35 points apiece. Avilo ducks under the player, knocks down the 2.
How cool was that?
Yeah, because I think she wanted to shoot the 3, but thought, nope, I'll just go inside.
Yeah. Nice little fake. Really good control over a pull-up. Been told off for not tucking her shirt in. So major incident.
Yeah, get the little things right.
Yeah, well, I mean, in fairness, I think the refereeing so far has been pretty good.
Yeah. 3 pretty experienced officials as well, all men's Super League Basketball Championship referees as well. John Ball Heron, Chris Curls and Nick Nassie. McDermott, Paxton, Park Lane, nice handoff. O'Brien, that shot this time was off.
Well overcooked.
Lyric Swan, I should have mentioned before, came on the court for the Eagles for Lauren Saki. Jada Gwynn thought that was in all day. Well, we've played 15 minutes and it feels like we've played about 3 minutes. It's gone that quick. McDermott. Claire Paxton again.
That came about because of a really well-balanced offense. They had players cutting inside, but they also had players taking up wide open spaces on the perimeter.
Claire Paxton knocks down a second.
Well, what did I say? You can't afford to leave her open beyond the arc. I know she's not been massing loads of points this year, but she's still deadly beyond the arc. If you're going to give her wide open looks like that.
Avilo gets a good deflection there. Flowers and Taylor Willison, O'Brien and Paxton come out.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? That Paxton's got red hot and then suddenly she's gone back to the bench.
Brzezowski comes out as well. Taylor O'Brien, who came off, has been sent back out.
I wonder whether she sat down and said, give us a rest, coach. But he wasn't having any of it. He wants her on the floor. Don't blame him. Look how active she is without the ball. Great player.
Yes, another really good player as well, but she misses the layup, but Flower doesn't even have to jump for the rebound. O'Brien swings it left. It's again moving the ball quickly. Portland shoots the three, and Portland makes the three, and that was over Shannon Hatch as well. 4-point lead for the Rebels, 41-37.
Well, this is what we make that famous commentator's remark, Jeff. It's a game of runs, isn't it?
Lewis Swan stepped on the line.
The number of times we have to say, how do they not know where the sideline is in the corner?
Well, the players don't know that, but I tell you what, Ashley Cookson literally just averted a technical foul because he suddenly realised he was well over his line again, and that the referees hadn't seen him, and he managed to get back. And then John Paul Herron realised what he'd done. Taylor Willis gets the friendly roll, and Chloe Gaynor decides she wants a timeout as the Rebels go up by 7. It's 44-37, and we will go to an advert. Okay, 3:24 to go. Oh, half-court shooting going on from the spectators. One just missed it. 37-44.
Well, I think the issue that the Essex have got to address, and you would expect it to be some people sitting on the bench, it's an important point here. If he picks up 2 tees from going outside there, he's gone.
Yeah.
You know, and you're right. I mean, he's broken that rule so many times already. He's been warned so many times already that somebody needs to be assigned to grab hold of him the next time he heads out of the box.
Just as a technical point, if you can see the scoreboard in the arena, it's a point out. Well, they've now changed it back again. They changed Taylor Willis's 3 to a 2, and now they've changed it back again, so it is right now, 37-44. Rachel Bland's come on for the first time. Lyric Swan takes the hand off. She will go to the basket. Nice work from Lyric Swan. She's suddenly come alive in the last few weeks as well.
The change of pace there on a dribble completely beat the defender,
who she was conceding about a foot to. Gets the Eagles back within 5. Flower to O'Brien. Back to Flower. That's it. Well, Eagles probably should have got the first one, but it was an intelligent stand by Lauren Saki.
It was a pretty also intelligent pull-up by Flowers, because I thought she was heading for a charge.
Yeah.
And she finished with a really soft shot.
That's like what Saki was hoping for. Curran's turnaround jump shot's no good. O'Brien again picks the rebound up. Oh, McDermott did superbly well there, as did Kendall Curran. McDermott did really well. McDermott, to keep that ball in play, got it back to Taylor Willis, but she just barged straight into Kendall Curran, who was standing stock still. Charge and foul. Eagles get the turnover. Swan finds Curran. Curran nips in and out, but misses the shot. Eagles just missing 1 or 2 shots here. Well, Brooke Flower's got to really finish those ones. She really has to. Oh, great steal by Park Lane. Here's Flowers. Well, I think Flowers has asked for a substitution.
Yeah, when you get that wide open, not that one there, she converted that one, you've got to convert it.
Essex is going to be delighted with the way this first half's gone. That's a foul. Brooke Flower asked for that sub about a minute or so ago.
Do you know what the most amazing fact about this game is when I look at the scoreboard, Jeff? There's been great action all nearly 20 minutes, but they've only picked up 2 fouls, the Eagles, in this quarter. Essex have only got 3. Both teams are playing hard-nosed defence.
There's another foul. Second player onto 2 fouls. There's Liam McDermott.
Coach Ashley's out of his box.
Right, just every single time.
It's Joe Hart, is it, sitting next to him?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to prime him, to grab hold of him.
Luke Swan misses the first of 2. 109 to go, 39-46. Essex deservedly in front, in my opinion. Makes a second though. 6-point game. Wazowski hands off to O'Brien. And that's going to be an offensive foul all day long. I don't think O'Brien felt it was. Saying she didn't hit her straight in, and there's a technical foul on Ashley Cookson.
Well, that's nothing to do with going out of the box. That's the second time he's completely disagreed with the call of offensive foul against his players. I think he has a case.
Yeah, I thought
personally,
he did as well.
I think he has a case.
I didn't think that Lawrence Sackley was squared up there. But we're not refereeing, so we have to go. Kendra Currance makes the free throw. And now we'll take, I think, 2 more, or who will be? Well,
no, I think they're just deciding where the ball's got to be
yeah,
brought
it's just
in.
I noticed that the red marker was up, but I think it went up after the foul. The foul wasn't the last one; it was the technical foul that wasn't. So it's just Eagles' possession.
I think the Eagles camp will want to see this gap closed in these final 40-odd seconds.
When Curran's trying to sort something out, Curran's it is, that knocks the 2 down. And Cookson takes the time out, and we will go to an advert. So we've got 31 seconds left. It will be an Essex ball. They've got a lead by 3. Do they go quick and try and make it a 2-for-1, or do they just take 24 seconds? I guess that's what actually Cookson's probably talking about.
Well, he's been talking it over with Joe Hart, and the players have spent the first 30 seconds trying to figure it out for themselves, which is always an interesting thing, but obviously the 2 coaches have decided what he wants for this last 31 seconds.
It will be interesting to see what happens, because, as you said before, and we don't often comment on this, but it's been so blatant that he's disregard for the officials in some respect from Cookson.
Well, it could cost him because he's now got 1T against him.
Yeah, I'm always worried about when you get a tee so early. I'm always thinking the referees possibly are a little bit more lenient, but we'll see. We'll see. So they've got the ball. Looks like they're just going to run a normal offense. That's a foul by Lauren Saki. That'll change the dynamic slightly.
Well, they've still got one more to give. If they're smart, they won't get themselves into the penalty this late, with only 22 seconds to go.
15 seconds on the shot clock. Hartley and Paxton goes under the screen, drives all the way, can't make it. Rachel Bland does well, just enough of a deflection, and the Eagles will hold for the last shot. Now if they could score here. I think we're going to say there was a foul right on the buzzer there. Quinn did a great job of getting the ball to the basket and then laying it off to Bland. Bland went up for the shot, and there was a foul right on the buzzer, so Rachel Bland will shoot 2.
I don't think there was any doubt about the foul. I think the only doubt was and I thought there was clearly a little bit of time left, and they've just changed the scoreboard from 0 to 1 second to play. But you can't advance the ball even if he had a timeout. So I think it's going to be tough for Essex to score with 1 second on there, especially if she misses the second one.
Rachel Bland misses the first. Makes the second and cuts the gap to 2 points. It's just basically going to be, Taylor O'Brien decides she's not going to throw it the full length of the court, and that's all she wrote for the first half. Tremendous paced first half, tremendous offensive display by both sides. Not necessarily the greatest defensive play, but I think Essex 2 points possibly just about deserved it.
Yeah, I think that. I saw the 2 games against the Eagles, and I've seen 2 other games Essex played. One against Auckland and one against the Sheffield Hatters, and I'm not surprised they got this 2-point lead, but looking back at the history of how their games have gone this season, the big challenge for them is can they keep it and consistently play for the next 20 minutes and not have any lapses in the last few minutes.
Okay, so we will be back in 10 minutes or so with some stats for you, and until then we'll leave you to enjoy whatever you do at half time with the scoreline at Newcastle Eagles 44, Essex Rebels 46.
From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team. From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team.
Virtue Motors Arena for the second half of tonight's Super League basketball playoff quarter-final between the hometown Newcastle Eagles and the visitors Essex Rebels, who lead by 2 points, 46-44 at the half. Some quick stats for you here. We're looking at the shooting percentages first from the Eagles, 47% overall, which is made up of 51% inside and 28%, 2 of 7 from three-point range. Match that up with Essex. They are at 48%, which is only 43% inside, but 57%, 8 of 14 from outside. So 6 more made and 7 more taken. Rebounds, it's 5 offensive, 12 defensive, 17 for the Eagles, 6 offensive, 14 defensive, 20 for the Rebels. Assists, turnovers and steals for the Eagle is 12, 5 and 3 against 14 assists, 9 turnovers and 1 steal. Points in the paint, 22 for the Eagles. Points from turnovers, 7. Points in the paint for Essex, 18. Points from 3 turnovers, 5. And then individual, Jada Gwynn, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Shannon Hatch, 10 points. Lauren Saki, 8 points. Kendall Currans, 7 points and 4 assists. And for Essex, it's Brooke Flower with 8 points. Lauren Park Lane with 8. Daniela Turner with 7. And Taylor O'Brien with 6 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Not a lot between it, but that 3-point, some is one thing which I'm sure Chloe Gaynor will have talked about at half time.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be, yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive shooting from outside. Good ball movement from the Essex team, and I think they've been the better team playing without the ball, which is probably the biggest reason they've got that slight lead. But the Eagles, as we know, are perfectly capable of hanging in, so this is about Essex's consistency. Can they play another 20 minutes without any slip-ups as the way they did in the first, and is Jada Gwynn ready to take over if needed in the last quarter?
Meanwhile, down in Sheffield, it's pretty much game over there. Sheffield stormed through the second quarter, 29-10, and then they took the third quarter 28-10. So they now lead 71-33 with 10 minutes to go down there. So it looks like Sheffield definitely will go through to join Auckland Wolves in into the semi-finals. Will it be Essex or will it be the Eagles who will face Sheffield? Caledonia facing off against Manchester up in Scotland tomorrow afternoon. Referee John Paul Heron getting attacked from both sides there by O'Brien, double team by O'Brien in Park Lane. Well, the Saki comes across. It will be Essex to get us thrown away. Jack Sayward in the crowd ramps up the drum, ramps up the singing, and off we go for the second half. Wazowski out to O'Brien. O'Brien tries to find Flower inside. Good hands by Kendall Curran.
Yeah, it was, that was an obvious ploy to play, and the Eagles were very smart in fronting Flowers.
Gwynn back out to Saki. Gives it back to Gwynn. Inside 10 seconds on the shot clock as your commentator almost falls asleep. Hatch for three is off. Avilo is well positioned there, but didn't realise where the ball was. O'Brien comes down, Park Lane for three is off. Turner takes a good rebound, back to O'Brien, and she knocks down the three.
Well, that 3-point percentage has been an important aspect for them, and they're certainly going for it again.
9-16 now.
Yeah.
5-point lead. Currans replies with, nope, she doesn't reply with a two. And Brzezowski takes the rebound. Eagles a little bit, just slightly lackluster. As O'Brien goes past Abby Lowe, finds Brzezowski under the basket for clean look, and Brzezowski puts it in.
Yeah, I think that was a great assist there from O'Brien, because she saw the open player late.
First 4 points, or 5 points indeed. Abby Lowe goes all the way, can't make it. Late call, but I think it was the correct call. Flower on Abby Lowe.
Well, with Essex going from 2-point lead to a 7-point lead, I think it's quite important psychologically that Abby converts at least one of these free throws.
And she misses the first. Ashley Cookson's trying to get it into Chris Curl's head here. He's moved away now, but he's standing right next to him, looking at the scoreboard, because his foul count is 10-3 in the Eagles' favour. But Lowe misses that pair. Kendall Currans, another great deflection.
Yeah. That pass was never on. Trying to play the high-low pass when the recipient was fronted is not a smart play.
Shannon Hatch comes off the screen and pops the two in from Gwynn's pass.
There's the first real lapse from Essex, because there was absolutely nobody picked up that cut by Sharon. Nobody.
O'Brien finds Flower underneath. The reverse layup is no good. Kendall Currans takes the rebound. Eagles just picking the pace back up again. Abby Lowe in the corner for three is short, but Jada Gwynn gets the rebound. attacks the basket, can't put it back though. Flower takes the rebound. And the ball in the hands of the reliable Lauren Park-Lane. Really good backcourt, Park-Lane and O'Brien. And no bad mid-court either, and that's Turner that knocks it down. It's a 7-point game. Zoe Willis comes to the sub bench.
I was thinking an early sub here is needed just to change things a little bit. Maybe even think about breaking this rhythm with a timeout. It's no use waiting, keeping them just for the sake of it.
Kendall Curran's trying to go. Brzezowski steals it. Somehow O'Brien gets between two Eagles defenders and they get completely split apart, and Park-Lane's there completely unmarked to lay it in for two. And Essex just started really well in this quarter.
I think that would, I was watching Chloe Gaynor there. I think that was a really close call about whether it should have called a timeout or not.
Lauren Saki.
They've got the momentum, it's going, it needs to be broken.
She is going to make a substitution that we know. Park-Lane for a huge three, but she misses it. Jada Gwynn takes the rebound. 48-55, 6 minutes to go in the third. Gwynn turns the corner, uses Hatch, gets Gwynn close. Abby Lowe would normally have taken that three. I suspect there's a little bit of lack of confidence there from Abby Lowe. Jada Gwynn comes inside. Nice pass, good cut.
Great pass and a tremendous baseline cut there from Kendall Currans.
Pass from Gwynn, the bucket was by Currans. Back to 5. O'Brien, Turner, back to O'Brien. That is short. Kendall Currans takes the rebound. Kendall Currans is not taking the game over, but she's certainly defensively done really well for the Eagles. Jada Gwynn's shaking her head there. She knows she probably should have made that one. Offensive foul. Arm into the throat. That's what indicating. Flower and Turner come out. Paxton and McDermott in. Not sure whether it was offensive foul or not, but one thing is you can't really take the chance and put your elbow up as high as that, really. Currans turns the corner, turnaround jump shot is no good, and that's going to be a foul by Zoe Willis.
Yeah, blatant, not at all difficult to call that one. And Zoe just grabbed hold of her and pushed her out of the way.
The Eagles have got 4 fouls. That's all they've got in the game, 4 fouls. And Zoe Willis has got 3 in. Ball movement much better by Essex. Brzezowski, though, shot is not a good one. But McDermott saves it, and it's a 24-second violation because the shot didn't hit the rim.
Yeah. Well, the Eagles have pulled it back to 5, but in all honesty, it feels like Essex are more in control of this game than a 5-point lead at the moment.
Well, it was only 2 at the half, so Essex winning the quarter by 3. Gwynn, the Hatch in the corner, Hatch 4-3 is no good. And that'll be an Eagles ball.
I don't think the end of the Essex bench agree with you. I think they saw a touch there come from an Eagles player last.
That's what Claire Paxton was certainly signalling.
Yeah. But the referee was right on the spot. Can't argue with him.
Currans from Saki's inbound. Goes for the 3 and makes the 3. And it's a 2-point game again. We're back where we were.
Yeah. That was poor Essex defence. She guarded it, but she made no attempt to challenge the shot. No use closing down. You got to close down and challenge.
Brzezowski powerful again. Nice footwork. Very nice footwork indeed. She's very powerful, Maria Brzezowski.
Quick as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's quick in her thinking and quick in her movements. But this is boiling up now. 3 minutes to go.
Lauren Sackey's turnaround jumper is no good. O'Brien picks the rebound up and immediately sets off up court. And wow. I think it's going to be a technical foul on Park Lane. Yep, technical foul on Park Lane because she felt that was a foul.
Well, I think the right decision there was no call. Because I think that could have been interpreted both ways. You could interpret that she dropped its shoulder.
Until O'Brien's gone to the free throw, she thought the technical was on the Eagles. Kendall Currens makes the foul shot.
That was one of those calls there where that call could have gone either way, and I think the best decision of all was what they did was no call.
Portland got a seat on the bench from Coach Cookson for a technical. 54-59. Wow, Lauren Sackey, wow. She's decided she's going to be a scorer tonight.
She's decided to take them on by herself. Great penetrating move and that hesitation dribble, which is not used enough and is a very effective weapon. Completely annihilated the defense.
So Essex now have 2 players on 3 fouls. O'Brien, who goes to the bench, and Payne.
Well,
the back court is on the bench.
I think everybody on the Essex bench keeps looking up there and seeing the Eagles with only 4 fouls against them. 13 against the Rebels.
Jaden Bam, first minutes of the game. That's because he's decided to sit both his backcourt players down. Sackey cuts it to 3 points at 56-59 with 3 minutes to go in the third. McDermott. Taylor Willis comes across. Bam comes to take the ball. Paxton. There are 4 bench players on at the moment for Essex. Claire Paxton goes down. Hatch finds Sackey with the... Oh, just missed it, but a good trail by Shannon Hatch. After Lauren Sackey missed her, we'll go to an advert because Coach Cookson has called a timeout.
From basketball to cannonball. Take the plunge with over 300 slam dunk destinations to choose from this season. Visit newcastleairport.com or your local travel agent and book today. Newcastle Airport, official sponsors of the Eagles women's team.
And we're back, so 2:39 to go. The Eagles have cut it back to within a point.
I think Essex coach is trying to work out what I'm trying to work out. It feels as though the whole of this quarter has belonged to Essex. They've been in the ascendancy, yet guess what? Eagles have pulled it back to 1.
Yeah, so 58-59, and great trail by Shannon Hatch there, by the way, because Lauren Sackey missed the wide open layup. Individually, it's the starting 5 as expected. O'Brien 11, Park Lane 10, Turner 9, Brzezowski 9, and Flower with 8 for the Eagles. Pretty much the same kind of story. Kendall Currens with 13, Shannon Hatch 14, Jada Gwynn 11, and Lauren Sackey with 12. And we're off and running again. Leah McDermott to Flowers. Good hands by Jada Gwynn.
Well, the bench played its part there. They pulled him back. They shouted at him. Yeah,
Back
front
court.
to back, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be backcourt. It has to be. What's worrying about that is that, well, couldn't have been anything else really, could it?
No, clear front to back violation.
It took the referee who was the first away from it to call it. That's what I was thinking.
He probably had the best vision,
Yeah,
in fairness.
Saki to Gwyn. Gwyn comes inside. That's stolen by Turner. And Bam staying on the court at the moment. Paxton. Cookson getting good minutes off his bench here. McDermott into Flower. And excellent pass and a good finish.
Yeah, great pass. I mean, just all about height advantage, that. But you have to make the pass inch perfect, and it was.
And then the finish has to be done as well, and that was also done. So the brains trust is coming back for Essex. Park Lane and O'Brien. Jada Gwynn misses a shot. McDermott. Kendall Currents to the bench. No look pass from McDermott. Good drive by Turner. Paxton for three is not good, but Essex will run the rebound down. Turner again. That's going to be a foul by Abbey Low block. Subs both sides. Jada Gwynn getting a rest. Baum and McDermott coming out. It's the Rebels backcourt. O'Brien and Park Lane back on. Park Lane straight into the game, as is O'Brien, and O'Brien lays it in for two. Throws her hands in the air to say, am I ever going to get an and one? That's a foul. Paxton all day long.
Yeah, so they're in the penalty as well. That's a bit of relief for the Eagles, because she's got chances now to score two here, because I think Claire Paxton realised they were in the penalty.
Well, Abbey Low is normally pretty reliable from the
Yeah,
line, but she's missed three in a row now.
Yeah.
The extra fourth, 1-4. Brzezowski on for Paxton. Back to his starting five for Cookson. His bench has done him a good job though. Got a 4-point lead, winning the quarter by a couple. O'Brien's shot is off, the Flower takes the rebound, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, good defense from Zoe Vickers. Yeah, really good defense from Zoe.
Stripped the ball as Flowers came down with it, and it rolled off Flowers' leg, and Eagles get the ball at the end line. Saki attacks all the way against Park Lane and in off the window for two. It's a 2-point game again, 61-63. Eagles looking for one stop. Brzezowski gets inside.
Again, good interior defense from the Eagles, because that looked like an absolute gimme for the Rebels, but the Eagles managed to get a hand on the ball and knock it out of bounds.
Park Lane misses the shot. Eagles tidy it up. Just hold on to the ball, don't need to do anything with it. And we've ended the quarter where we were at the beginning of the quarter, with Essex in a 2-point lead, level quarter, 61-63.
Well, that's not a bad position for the Eagles, Jeff, because I'm pretty clear in my mind that the Essex were the better team in that quarter. and I thought they were going to push that out to maybe a double-digit lead, but for somehow or other, the Eagles have hung in there. A lot to do, in fairness, with Lauren Saki.
Yeah, she's up to 14 points personal. Only 2 assists, which is unusual for Lauren, but 14 points is an excellent effort. Shannon Hatch also has 14 points. Jada Gwynn not adding to her 11 points from the first half, but has added a couple of assists and a couple of rebounds, so she's 11, 6 and 6. And Kendall Curran's on 13 and 4. For Essex, it is O'Brien and Park Lane who lead the way. O'Brien with 13, Park Lane with 10. Flowers also has 10. So Flowers also has 6 rebounds. Well, anybody's guess as we go down the stretch. Final score from Sheffield is Sheffield Hatters 94, Durham Palatinate 42. The last 3 quarters it was 29-10, 28-10 and 23-9.
That's emphatic.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's not emphatic here. Essex have been the better team, they've shaded it. The Eagles have hung in there, there's still a good chance for them. But I think we need more than Lauren Saki stepping up in this final quarter.
I think the big news from Sheffield for me, looking at the score sheet, is that Madison Washington played today. Only played 15 minutes, but she had 11 points, 4 rebounds and 5 assists in that time.
Is Zelpa back playing yet or not?
No, she's not back.
That's a big miss for them. She's a very, very good player. Anyway, more importantly,
who's going to win this one?
Yeah, well,
Lauren Saki has a seat on the bench to start the quarter.
The Eagles have got the players who can do this. The Eagles have got the players who can turn it around. But Essex are not going to roll over. It's going to be a tough game for them.
Kendall Currens levels the score.
There's one of them. That's a tough move to start in. Not only that, it's tied the game.
Big drive hard across the baseline and off the window for 2. O'Brien, Taylor Willis to Brzezowski. That little head fake and in for 2.
Nice move all around. Very, very soft little release at the end there to get that lucky roll in.
She's all action, isn't she?
She is, yes, good player.
Currens and Hatch switching passes. Zoe Willis 4-3 is off. Hatch can't get the rebound.
Good shot to take though, she was wide open.
Yeah, I agree with you, she was wide open, it was a good shot to take, but I think from Essex point of view, they'd rather have Zoe Willis shooting threes than Kendall Currens or Jada Gwynn or Shannon Hatch perhaps even. But it was still a good shot to take, she didn't make it. Brzezowski's under her basket again, this time she's missed it, and the foul is called late. And that's Zoe Willis's, well, as you say, incredible. The Eagles have only got 6 fouls in the game, and she's got 4 of them.
She's expressing her opinion to the teammates. She's not impressed at all with some of her teammates' defense there. But she's coming out because she's on 4 fouls. I mean, look at that, 4 fouls. There's only 2 other players got 1 foul against them.
It almost makes you feel as if the team hasn't been aggressive enough, but they have. They definitely have. This is the girl that's really impressing me, Brzezowski. She looks a real handful for the Eagles at the moment. She misses a second. It's 3-point gap again for Essex. Shannon Hatch hands off to Jada Gwynn. Inside to Rachel Bland, but she's lost it. Kendall Currens gets a hand on that. I think we'll find the arrow is in Essex's favour.
Well, if you need any evidence about how important this game is to these players, you had it right there. What really battling hard to get possession of that Blues ball. Commitment and everything has been exceptional from both teams.
playoff basketball. He's going to leave it
Yeah.
all on the floor. Brzezowski, it's a foul by Rachel Bland. Wonder what must be going through Tara Hodges' mind right now. Sitting on the bench, trying our best to help our teammates with vocal support. Offensive foul, Maria Bolowski. She knew it as well, didn't she? She absolutely knew it.
She's shaking her head. I'm not sure whether she's shaking her head. She didn't agree with the decision, or she's shaking her head that she knows she shouldn't have done it.
I think she's shaking her head because she got caught.
Yeah.
Luke Swan. 2 minutes in, Lauren Sackey still on the bench. I suspect she'll be returning very, very shortly. Currance and Gwynn. Nice screen from Rachel Bland. Lyric Swan. Running down a bit of a blind alley. Shannon Hatch misses the shot. Every miss could be decisive from now on.
Something the Eagles have got to take advantage of. Shannon Hatch is getting wide open and so easily in the middle of their key.
Kendall Currance did a great job on boxing out Brooke Flowers there. Absolutely superb. Brooke Flowers knew she should have made the rebound, the putback. Gianna Gwynn. 4-2.
Is this the moment she takes over? Because certainly would be a big boost for the Eagles if it was. She's had loads and loads and loads of strong final quarters. The Eagles needed to have one tonight. But I don't think Rachel Bland could have done any more there.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
She's right underneath.
Yeah.
But just that height advantage from Flowers again. It's having a big game, Flowers. And here comes the twins. McDermott and Paxton on again. O'Brien and Flowers is off. There's just nothing in this game, really isn't.
Well, he's obviously got a rotation policy. I mean, I'm not sure I would want to be taking
Taylor
O'Brien off at this time of the game.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but then I was going to say we're commentators, not coaches, but you were a coach for a long time, Dave, so there you go. Gianna Gwynn makes them both.
Man, she's on 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good reason, isn't it? Well to go, Coach Ash. Good job.
Yeah, I think that last foul was just credited very late there by the table. Park Lane into Brzezowski again, but she missed it. At the moment, Kendall Currance seems to be everywhere.
Well, it's certainly needed because, you know, the Eagles, they're hanging in. Are they going to be able to keep the pressure on Essex at this stage? Test them at the end? Fascinating game. Everything to play for because the winner goes through, the loser goes home.
Eagles have played 4 minutes in this quarter, and Lauren Sackey, who was top scorer. Lauren Lyric Swan for 3 is no good. Rachel Bland's done fantastically well there, and that's going to be a foul by Taylor Willis.
Well, that's interesting because that puts them 1 away from the penalty.
Here she comes, Lauren Sackey.
Unless it's staying at 3, I thought that is the 4th. So Essex now, next foul, Eagles are going to the charity stripe.
Turner comes on for Taylor Willis. Ashley Cookson just keeps, well, he's actually pointed to the scoreboard a couple of times now. He's clear out there now in the penalty, Dave. That was the foul.
Yep.
5 minutes and 50 seconds in the penalty. Rachel Bland is no good. But Gianna Gwynn is there to put it back. And the Eagles have sneaked away in front, 69 to 68. And as Dave often says to me, a player on 4 fouls is no good to you on the bench when it's a tight game. And I've just noticed Taylor O'Brien is going to the bench, but that's a great steal by Shannon Hatch. And the Eagles are off and running, and we might see a timeout here. Yeah, absolutely, had to be. Timeout by Ashley Cookson as the Eagles suddenly take a 3-point lead. Advert. And we're back, 5:14 to go. Eagles lead 71-68. Just wait, I was just waiting for the scoreboard to tick over, but it has now. You mentioned Jada Gwynn. She had 11 points at half time. She had 11 points after 3 quarters. She's now got 19.
Tell you, she's had a significant moments in this thing. So you got the Jada Gwynn factor on another. Kendall Currance has come alive as well. But from the Essex point of view, was it wise to take out Flowers, who was the rim protector, scoring inside, and Taylor O'Brien? He was very, very quickly, as soon as he saw that scoreboard go in the Eagles' favour, got them both back in.
Yep, they're both back in now.
5 minutes is a long time to go, so it's not anything that's crucial at this stage.
What we've got is we've got starting 5 against starting 5 as we go into the last 5 minutes. O'Brien bounces off Currance. Is it to Turner? Turner turns the corner, comes back. Good defense by Jada Gwynn. Excellent rebound by Shannon Hatch in front of Flowers.
I mean, when you think about it, Hatch is probably the best person to take care of Flowers.
And even she's conceding about 3 or 4 inches to her. Gwynn tried to find Currance. I'm not sure Currance would have got that one even if it had got through, but irrelevant because the ball comes off the feet. It's the old stack system there, David. End of the day. Saki finds Currance. What a great pass. They rolled around and around and around.
You sense the momentum swinging here.
5 points a gap. Oh, and a total miscommunication between O'Brien and Flowers. Throws the ball away.
So at the moment, Essex will be reluctant to use another timeout because they've used 2. This is a tight game at the end. There's 2 they don't have. Coach Chloe Gain has got all 3 available.
Currently, it's an 8-point without reply. Make that 11 points without reply. And all of a sudden, Eagles lead by 8. Currance and Gwynn taking this game over for the Eagles. And there's Hatch against Flower.
Yeah, I think that's the best tactic for the Eagles. Hatch to front.
Gwynn
Flowers
to the basket and is fouled. And this Eagles side have just suddenly moved into another gear.
Not only that, you can see the way they're rushing to each other. The momentum's with them, the passion's with them, the energy's with them. Not only that, they're playing very, very smart.
17-5 at the moment this quarter. Gwynn misses the extra one. It's a foul by Abbey Lowe, I think. Was that a little sarcastic applause from Cookson there?
I don't know, but it's a pretty aggressive move by the Essex player.
So we have 3:40. Eagles up by 10 at 78-68. And there's another turnover forced by the Eagles. Saki to Gwyn, and it's 12 points now. Putting the press on here as well. Trying to just turn that screw a little bit more. This run now is at 15 points to 0, dear.
Yeah, and Essex are without two influential players, Flowers and O'Brien.
Eagles ball and line. Well, they may be given a little bit of height away, but they're certainly playing bigger than, I think the size of the horse is making up for the size of their length. 80-68 as we tick down. Low to Saki will attack. Up she goes. It missed, but they ran a good 24 seconds
it missed,
there.
but you know, you kept referring to the fact that she was on the bench, she was on the bench. She'd had a great third quarter. The timing of bringing her in turns out to be perfect. What an impact she's had.
Paxton makes the three though. That breaks the streak. And brings it back to single figures at 9 points, but there's a lot of time gone. There's only 2.5 left. Eagles can they control the clock? Abielo for three is good. Shannon Hatch found it. Ashley Cookson has to call his last time out with 2:21 to go, and we will go to an advert. So, 2:21 to go. And I think the remarkable fact, you mentioned it before, was in the third quarter, Chloe Gaynor was very close to taking a timeout. She decided not to and rode that storm, and she's still got 3 left now.
Well, I just think good as Gwyn's been, good as Currance has been, I just think the moment Lauren Saki came back onto that court, I think it was after about 4 or 5 minutes, was it?
4 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, the whole game changed.
Don't disagree with you at all, Dave. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, people will look at the stats though and say, like, you look at Gwyn, she scored 12 points in this quarter.
She's had so many good final quarters.
McDermott for 3 is good. Kendall Currance is saying, why wasn't I getting any help? Abielo get the ball over halfway. That's all the Eagles needed to do. Gwyn to Currance. Currance hands in the air. That's an 8th assist for Jada Gwyn. 22 points for Kendall Currance. And great defense by Abielo to kick the ball away.
The execution of that transition there was perfect.
Everything about it, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and in particular the finish, the cut in from Currance just left the Essex defence flat-footed.
O'Brien, Paxton for 3. This one's off. Good rebound by Turner, who's just come on. She picks the pockets, gets it up. 9 points again. 1:43 to go. You have to remember that this Eagles side beat Essex twice in the league with Tierra Hodges in the side. They haven't had Tierra Hodges tonight, and they're still up by 9. But there's a big question that has to be coming up very soon as Jada Gwynn goes all the way to the basket for 2. She's a talent. What a talent she is. Taylor O'Brien for 3 will reply. No, she doesn't. Gwynn gets the rebound and is fouled. And that is Taylor O'Brien out of the game. Very disappointed, obviously.
Well, she's disappointed,
Yeah.
but you know, she's a player.
Yeah,
No doubt about
absolutely.
it. She's a player. She's impressed me all game, and I was really impressed with her when they played Sheffield. Impressed with her when they had the home game against the Eagles. Impressed with her when she came here.
She does currently lead the score on 13 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. That's all she wrote. Meanwhile, the young lady shaking the free throws is now up to 20. I think she's up to more than that. She's on 23, but I think she's actually on 26. I think 26 points. And Shannon Hatch almost took the rebound. Lauren Saki will take it. So my question is, Dave, and I'm going to call this early because it's a 12-point lead and we're into the last minute. There's the foul on Lauren Saki by Taylor Willis, who is very, very close to getting the technical, I think, as well. It'll be 2 shots. The Eagles will go to Sheffield next weekend. Can the Eagles win at Sheffield without Tierra Hodges? It's
So
a
you
big
say Washington's back?
Washington's back as well.
That's okay. I mean, I think Sheffield have missed Zelba, no doubt about it. She's a good player. Well, hopefully Terry Hodges is fit so that Coach Chloe Glainer has that situation. The Eagles lost heavily at home to Sheffield, but they've had 2 very, very close games down there. One they shouldn't have lost. They just messed up an out of bounds play. They've got better every time. I think they're in with a real chance.
Claire Paxton's done her best, hasn't she? She's knocked down some threes,
Yeah.
but 11 points and we're well inside the last minute. Jada Gwynn comes back out. They're going to run the full 24. Shannon Hatch for 2 is, oh well, it's off. But Jada Gwynn still chasing down the rebound.
I thought that had gone in.
I think Shannon Hatch did as well. Well, the Eagles have not only have they had a fantastic season, they've now justified their seeding, and they will go to Sheffield next week for what will be a humdinger of a game. Well, meanwhile, perhaps we just need to hang fire a little bit because that was a 3-point shot from the corner by Daniela Turner. But and if they've given up, they've given up. It's the Newcastle Eagles that advance in the playoffs, and they take a win by 90 points to 82. It's going to be, I think you just need to watch the celebrations here, not just much for the Eagles, but Ashley Cookson's a little bit frustrated to say the least. But, well, Chloe Gaynor has took over this side when she wasn't expecting to, and just continues to come up with the goods. That was a tremendous fourth quarter performance. They've won the fourth quarter by 29 points to 19. And you asked for Jada Gwynn to step up, she did step up. And it's been absolutely fantastic in front of another good crowd inside the Virtual Motors Arena. So it'll be the Eagles versus Sheffield and Oaklands versus either Caledonia or Manchester next weekend. Congratulations to the Newcastle Eagles. Commiserations to the Essex Rebels. They gave a really good account of themselves and have had a pretty solid season. Not a great season, but a solid season. But the Eagles season continues to blossom, and they've got one more game at least next weekend.
Yeah, been a really interesting game. It's funny how what can swing a games, but Lauren Saki's return to the court in that final quarter was absolutely perfect timing, and it seemed to lift the whole team. Jada Gwynn really got being what Jada Gwyn's all about, fully deserving of that coach player of the month situation. I thought Kendall Curran's had a great game. But everybody who went on the floor today made a contribution to it, and it was a really, really good team effort.
Well, from Dave and myself, we've been through the ENBL, we've been through the Women's Championship in the Super League basketball, and that's it from us for this season. We haven't got any more games. I've loved working with you again, Dave, and I'm happy to do it again next year for you all.
It'd be not ready for retirement yet.
Great stuff. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll leave you with a final score of Newcastle Eagles 90, Essex Rebels 82.